ridiculous.
It's not hard, but sometimes things go wrong and they're not quick to fix.
Yeah, it's not always obvious what the fix is. I think that's the way I kind of look at it. You're just like, what the hell happened? But I do appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Do you though?
Yeah,
I don't think he does.
I mean, that's rude. Absolutely rude.
I know. Been the week for it. Oh God.
I hear us. We're talking.
Talking? Are we talking well, or are we just talking? Talk.
As long as we're
rambling.
Talking,
I've created a grocery list. Any guesses as to how many items I have been able to put in my grocery list since we have started this?
10.
Chris, any guess on how many items are in my grocery shopping list?
Okay,
13 is the correct answer. Kim wins.
13.
Hey, look at that.
Kim.
I'm now checking out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go.
Would I think we just get started. I'm a Richard.
I think this is more than him.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 886 of the Overseas Connection podcast. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We love you. We do. It's another day with my favorite people. We are a video game podcast. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We do a audio version of the podcast. So if you happen to miss this, we will post it up for you so you can catch it on your favorite audio streaming system, whether it be, I don't know, Apple Play. I'm trying to think of, there's Podbean. There's a ton, but we'll be there. Spotify. Thank you. That was the big one that I was missing. Again, we are a video game podcast. We also talk about life, and one of the things that's happening with life is sleep deprivation, clearly for most of us in this podcast. But we'll get into that later. Right now, let me introduce my two favoriteest people right now, because the fourth one that was a favorite is not a favorite right now because he didn't want to make the show because he had early morning speeding ticket classes. Serves him right for speeding. Anyway, all right. Without further ado, Miss Kim Woods. Kim, how you doing?
Howdy. Yeah, I'm also one of those people with sleep deprivation, so if I suddenly just pass out in the middle of the show, hopefully I don't snore. I'll try not to, though. So.
You know what? The amazing thing, Kim, you would not be the first person to snore on this podcast.
Right?
Yeah. Shout out Richard Primrose. Also on the podcast today, Mr. Christopher Matthews.
Hello. Happy to be here, panicking because OBS has, in the eloquent words of our absent co-host, shit the sheets. But nevertheless, we must forge ahead. OCCP Matthew.
We must.
They still call me Moose. All those things.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the delinquent host we have been discussing is Mr. Mark Wright, who is all worried about his speeding ticket test instructions. I don't know. He's got class at 7:30 in the morning, which, for the record, that's a bit early, I have to say.
Well, it's a Zoom call, so, I mean... Yeah.
Still, that's a bit early. For government work, that is a bit early.
Now, Greg. Having worked for the
non-military government work. How's that? Is that better?
I will say that having worked with non-military government people, most of them start their day at 7:30 because then they can hit the links by 3.
Okay. I can't argue with that. I can't. So, where do we go from here? You know where we're going to go from here?
Can only go up.
Oh, no. We can always go. There is a pathway down, Mr. Matthew. There is. However, let's talk some birthdays. We do have a couple.
Oh, we do have some birthdays. And that's my job, isn't it?
Loosely
Well, sometimes,
speaking,
yeah.
Happy birthday, Jonathan Wolf May, and happy birthday, Pam Stout May. The whole May family celebrating birthdays this week. So in May. No, wait.
May for May.
Wait.
Am I reading that wrong?
You might be a little bit.
Happy birthday, Jonathan Wolf, on May 12th, and happy birthday, Pam
There we
Stout,
go.
on May 17th. Oh man, I thought it was so crazy that they both had a birthday this week, and it was in May, and their name was May. Oh,
Brilliant.
Sleep deprivation.
Well,
Sleep deprivation.
people, that is what we're bringing to the table today.
Listen,
It's going to be fun.
it's gonna be a show because
It
we
is
always
going
do
to be a
this,
show.
and I don't want to not do this. We're gonna scramble for a second. Happy birthday, Bono, turning 66 this week. When you think of Irish rock stars, you probably think of Bono. Happy birthday, Sid Vicious of the Sex Pistols. And that's gonna be it for this week's famous birthdays. We'll have some more famous birthdays next week. Last week, though, Sir David Attenborough turned 100. So happy birthday, young man. No longer allowed to play with Lego sets, by the way. It says $3 to $99 on the box. So right out.
Well, shit.
Do they actually say 3 to 99?
On the box, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not-
so that's kind of
That's not a legal
'cause-
statute, but
no, it's certainly not a legal statute, but most products that I see, kids' toys, that kind of thing, it'll usually say like 6+,
yeah.
4+. But my guess is because they didn't want to associate that with kiddie toys, so they put the 3 to 99. It's also a little bit of a play, obviously, on the fact that old people like yourself love Legos.
I'm not old. What are you talking about? Mr. Kmart.
Yeah, we did talk about Kmart blue light specials in our chat. All right. Do we have a song for the birthday people?
Do we? Maybe.
Oh,
I mean,
do we?
we do have a double May birthday.
It's gonna be May.
And action.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
There we go. Happy birthday to the May family this week in May. I wonder if these two people have ever even met. We just married them on live podcast, and I don't know that they
Oh
ever
my
met.
god.
Yeah, I am of the mindset they may not even be on the same continent. I don't know, but hey, we did something. We did, maybe
We
just
did
maybe,
something.
Chris, maybe you sparked something here, and they are going to find one another, and they will be blissfully
That's me.
happily.
That's me. I'm the spark.
You're the spark. Okay. All right. Speaking of sparks, let's talk some story time.
Yep.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day. When we gather around his great big chair and
Greg DeLacy.
Multiple things. One, smooth as butter. This is going well. And also, I applaud the unique spin on sound effects now that you are bringing to the table. So I do appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into what's been going on. Mr. Matthew, last week you were complaining that life was boring and it was just a blah kind of week. Let's talk about this past week.
I'm never complaining about a boring week again. And I'm not really complaining about this last week either, because there were a lot of fun things, but it was something every night this last week. We had some kind of event, whether it was a kids sports or a work event, because it's the end of the semester and these things are happening. It was every night. And so today, of course, is Mother's Day. And I said to Katie, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? She said, honestly, nothing. it's been something every day this week. What I'd really like on Mother's Day is to not do something. I was like, all right, I can do nothing as well as anyone. So yeah, there we go. It was just like we had 2 track meets, and then there was a formal dinner that I got to go be arm candy at, and then we had a send off for people who are leaving. All fun things, but it was just a lot. It was just a lot, and the hits keep coming, but I'm not complaining because I was talking to my mom about all this. She lives by herself. She says someday all that's going to be over and you're really going to miss it. And I said, yeah, you're right. So I am not complaining, but I am exhausted, which is why the sound effects are just going to be what they're going to be today. There we go.
They're just going to be what they're going to be. I'm
They're
okay
gonna
with
be
that.
What they're going to be. When I had some downtime, I was watching this. It's an older series, docu-series. Is that a word? Are we allowed to say that?
I think so.
I think so.
I found it on. I think I found it on HBO Max, but it's the '90s on CNN, and so they go through these about an hour long. Just the things that defined the 90s. So the first one was all about television in the 90s, and it was really
Right.
about the transition from kind of the family sitcoms that we had in the late 80s into, by the end of the 90s, you had all these really gritty shows like NYPD Blue and Oz and The Sopranos. And so it was kind of all about that. Then there was one about music in the 90s, and then there was one all about, of course, the Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and the Bush presidency, and then all about the Clinton presidency. So it's been really interesting. I guess I am old now because I can watch things that I lived now being reported on as if they were history. So I guess I am getting a little old, but a fun series and recommended. Definitely a USA centric bit of broadcasting. It's mostly about American TV, American music. Of course, the American presidents. So it's definitely USA centric. But it's
Chris, have you ever seen? I'm sure you have, but the Toys That Made Us
Yes, I love that show. I love that.
series on Netflix.
Yeah. And then you had the Movies That Made Us was kind of a follow up to
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I really enjoyed both of those. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those are great. And I also there's another series, How It's Made,
Yes.
and it's almost, I think it's like a PBS type show.
It was
and
either
it's only like a
PBS
half
or
hour.
Discovery. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
and it just
yeah.
like detail of how like certain products or a thing is made,
Yes.
and it just
So neat.
Super
Yeah.
bland, no fanfare,
Yeah.
just narrators like, and then they do this, and then they do this.
Yep.
Yep.
But fascinating nonetheless. Yes, I've watched a few of those.
yeah. I always have a amazing appreciation for the crafts when I see those types of things and realize just how much technical expertise goes into it, or just the genius that was behind coming up with how to make that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the manufacturing
Anyway,
processes.
continue
on. Let's see, and then wrapping up my story time this week. Have you ever read or listened to Dungeon Crawler Carl?
I've heard of it.
I have not.
So Dungeon Crawler Carl, how long? I think the 8th book is getting ready to release. I'm trying to see when it was originally released. I can't find that information right quickly. It doesn't matter. So far they're on the 8th book. So the premise of Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's kind of a dark premise, but it's also kind of humorous. So it has a nice balance. But the idea is there's this mega intergalactic corporation that has come to mine Earth for all of its resources. And they do so by collapsing the planet and just stripping everything away. And so it starts with sort of everything on the surface just flattens down. And then these staircases open up and you go into the staircase, and then you become a crawler, where the corporation has set up this 13-level dungeon that you have to survive. And if you survive the dungeon, then you get to become a galactic citizen or something. I don't know. But if you enjoy tabletop role playing games or role playing video games, it'll be right up your alley because it's basically it's all in the first person, so it's all narrated by Carl, who is going through the dungeon with his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, and they are fighting through this dungeon together. But it's all narrated in the first person, and it like every time he's like, oh yeah, he mentions like, oh it's a kobold, or oh it's a goblin, or oh it's a this, and if you've played any of these games, you immediately kind of know what he's talking about. So there doesn't need to be a lot of exposition. It just kind of gets straight to it. So I recommend it. I just finished the first book. Very entertaining series. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. All right. Kim.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about the week you had.
Oh, and what a week it's been. All right, I'll try to make this compact because it is a little bit of a drawn out story, but I'll try to tighten her up where I can. Monday afternoon, I'm sitting here at home doing my thing. I was getting ready to jump on the Xbox because I had my whole entire afternoon free, and my phone rings and it's my sister.
You bought Arc Raiders, right?
Exactly. And anyway, my sister calls. I'm like, okay, that's fine, because she usually calls me, and she's like, when she first answers, she's panicked, and I'm like, okay, this is not good. I'm like, what's wrong? And all of a sudden, in the background, I could hear my dad, and I'm like, are you calling from the hospital? And she's like, yeah. I said, then why is Dad in the background? Because he should be at work. And that's when she goes, well, there's been a problem. And of course, like I said, she's panicking. So all I got out of it was Dad was in the emergency room, something about a hydraulic hose, and they were going to life flight him to Columbia, which is Columbia, Missouri. And he had to see a hand specialist. And she's like, be ready, because she's like, I'm going to be down to pick you up so we can go. Okay. Fine. So I get ready. She shows up. And I'm like, what is happening? And apparently Dad was at work. Dad works as a farm laborer for this big farm. And he was hooking a piece of equipment onto the back of a tractor using hydraulic hoses. And what had happened was the hydraulic hoses had pressurized and popped off. And when they did, one had come out and impaled his index finger. And had pumped half his hand full of hydraulic fluid. Which at first I'm like, okay, not thinking this is terribly serious. But apparently hydraulic fluid... it's not a good thing to have in your hand, apparently.
Yeah, officially, I was reading up on the official website for hydraulic fluid. It says, do not ingest into your body. So
right. Well, this was, not intentional. So anyway, his ex-boss's wife was there at the time. So she loads his ass up, takes him to the emergency room. And come to find out from the emergency room doctor, he's like, well, technically you only have 6 hours. He said in that time, if you can't get that hydraulic fluid cleaned up out of your hand, either one, you're going to lose the finger, or you're going to lose the whole hand, or it might even possibly kill you. So we're on a time clock. And of course, by the time my sister calls, he's already had this hydraulic fluid pumped into his hand like an hour ago. So we're already losing time. Well, my Dad's boss's wife was like, well, whatever it is, we'll fly him down by the helicopter, whatever costs, we'll take care of it, but get him down there. So they call up the helicopter from the University of Missouri at Columbia. They fly up here and pick him up. Now, by the helicopter, Columbia is only like a 45-minute flight. Now, by car, it's like a 2-hour drive. So by the time the helicopter's up here to pick up Dad and take him to the hand specialist at Columbia, we're already booking it out of town. And by the time he makes it down there and they get him put into an emergency room, we were like, 15, 20 minutes behind him. So that should tell you how fast we were trying to get down there. And it's funny because my dad has always been one of them guys, I'll never fly. Of course, admittedly, this is a medical emergency, so he really has no choice in the matter. But I'll be goddamned if he did not like the flight down to Columbia. He just sat there in the helicopter, watched all the scenery go by, and he just had a good old time. It was hilarious as hell. So, because they really thought he'd take a nap. But no, he just watched the scenery go by. So
well, maybe he's up for future flights now.
Well, maybe, yeah, because I was laughing at him while we were down there. I'm like, yeah, and you're the guy that said you'd never get off the ground, and now look at you. And So anyway, and it was bad enough by the time they got him down to the emergency room. They didn't even open up an OR to get him in it. They operated on him right there in the emergency room. I stepped out because I'm a kind of a wuss when it comes to blood. But they
I don't blame you.
basically
I was gonna say there's
That's my
something
dad.
about seeing. Yeah, it's your dad. Seeing your dad getting operated on, regardless.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
right?
tough.
But my sister is a CNA, so and she works at wound clinics, so she's used to all this. Speaking of my father, I'm pretty sure I was right. I think he is on the lawnmower. It's great. He's one-handed riding the lawnmower. Well, we may be going back to the doctor this week, so who knows? Stay tuned. Oh yeah, and the windows are open because I didn't foresee this. So hold on. Okay, there he goes. Maybe.
Yeah, we're good. Keep talking.
Should I go out and kick a 75-year-old man's ass? Because I really feel like I need to go out there and kick his ass. But anyway, they get him in the emergency room. They operate on him, and they cut, like I said, they cut up the top part of his palm, and they zigzag down the finger. And fathers, what are you gonna do? They flushed out the hydraulic fluid, and oh, hold on, here we are. Can you hear that
Hey.
thing in the background?
Not really. I think it's
All right,
mostly
good.
you're hearing it more than we're hearing it.
All right. Well, that's what I want to make sure because it is rather loud and it's right outside my window. So I wanted to
I
make
love
sure
that
that I'm not.
You're shouting. You sound like you're reporting on a hurricane. It's really windy down here.
It's kind of loud. Oh dear Lord. Anyway, they cut him open. They flush it out. The surgeon talked like they thought they got 99% of the hydraulic fluid out. So they went back in. They stitched him up. He's now got a big old bunch of gauze and dressing and all sorts of things around his hand now that we have to change at least once a day. And they fixed him up with a splint. So pain-wise, it was pretty bad the first couple of days. Like, this is probably the first time I've seen my dad cry over pain in like years. Because it was bad enough down there, they were giving him morphine in order to kill the pain. So
Wow.
they've got him on oxycodone for when it's really bad. But we haven't needed a whole lot of that since he's been home. It's mainly been ibuprofen and Tylenol.
Yeah.
So anyway, we go back, huh?
I was gonna say a little oxy and riding a lawnmower goes a long way.
Right. Well, he hasn't taken any today. He usually saves that for at night when he's trying to sleep. So we're good on that. Because I was kind of leery about him taking the oxycodone a lot anyway, because of course it is an opioid. So there is that. But anyway, we go back Tuesday for a checkup to see how it's healing. And then if everything goes right Tuesday, the following Tuesday he'll go back down and have the stitches removed. So for right now, he's learning, like I said, he's learning to do things one-handed, which apparently right now means mowing the yard. Although I don't know why I'm surprised.
Was it his primary hand or was it his offhand?
No, thankfully it was his left hand. He's right-handed, so thankfully it was his non-dominant hand. So he can still drive because it was bad enough the other day. He was bored out of his mind. He went for a walk, which if you knew my father, you'd realize how asinine that is.
Yeah.
So I needed some groceries, so I made up a grocery list and sent his ass to town because I'm like, if you're going to be bored, go buy groceries.
I applaud you, Kim, for taking my question about if it was the primary hand or the offhand and applying that to driving. But
Yes.
importantly, the question you always need to understand is when you have surgeries or like my brother-in-law just literally had his right arm. He had the arthroscopic surgery on his shoulder. And so he won't have use of his right arm for like 3 months.
Mhm.
Well, all fine and dandy up until you have to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
This is where the rubber meets the road, people. This is why you do all you can to never hurt your primary hand.
Yes. Thankfully, I'm dodging that bullet because, like I said, it's his left hand, so he
Yes.
still has his right hand, so he can still do all that. He can still drive, but it's funny because at work, they've all got new farm equipment, so it's all like you can set it to auto drive and all that sort of thing. And his old boss sent him a video the other day of him being in one of the tractors, and he's trying to figure out how the auto drive works. And I had to laugh, and Dad's like, "What's so funny?" I said, the only reason he's testing that is so he can get your ass back in that tractor, because you don't need both hands for the auto drive. So that he's looking out for you, so he can get you back to work and making a paycheck. And he just laughs. So
Pretty well.
I have to give, I have to give his boss and his old boss, and of course the boss's wife, all credit because they've been really good through all this. He's got at least 1 week of paid vacation, and the boss's wife has already been by here dropping off food. So they're keeping an eye on him. Of course they kind of have to because
that's
he's the
nice.
best. He's the best worker they've got. So at 75 years old, so that should tell you what you need to know there. But yeah, it's been a week. I've been pretty much exhausted all week because, of course, you're worried. I'm worried that his hand's gonna be all right, and of course, I have to get up in the middle of the night when he gets up because if he needs pain meds, I have to make sure he gets the right bottle and not the wrong one, or then we've got problems. So yeah, it's been a little bit stressful, but we're working on it. So
Okay. Was that the only drama of the week?
well, no, I had to take one of the cats to the vet yesterday. And it wasn't really as melodramatic as Dad's deal, thank God. But he had some drainage in his ear, and he had his had a sore or something in his mouth. I couldn't figure out what it was. But while we were there, he got a shot of antibiotics, and then they went to put some stuff down in his ears. And while I was holding this cat, they apparently bumped the itchy part of his ear. So of course he brings that back leg up to go to scratch his ear, but my hand was in the way. So he proceeded to rip open the back side of my hand, and it was bad. It was bad enough. My vet looks at me and goes, "Go to the bathroom. We've got some soap in there. It's a little blue soap or something." And he's like, "It's antibacterial. So for God's sake, go in there and wash that up." Because he's like, "I don't need you to get some sort of weird cat infection because you got your hand scratched open." So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a weird thing in my house apparently with hands. Because if it's not Dad, it's me. So anyway, that's about it for me this week. Yeah.
Okay.
I say like that like it was nothing, but
It's been an intense week. Goodness.
It's been a lot, yeah. Like I said, I was not expecting when she called. At first, somebody had said something about Dad and a heart attack, and so then I'm really freaking out. And then I find out it's like a hydraulic hose, and it's not really processing to me how bad that could possibly be. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then we get down there, and he's like, well, if we don't get it cleaned out in 6 hours, he might lose his hand or he might die. And I'm like, oh, okay, no pressure, fine.
Okay, that was actually a perfect segue, Kim.
Okay.
Not to stay on the dark path, but did you guys see the crazy story that came out from Denver Airport, Colorado? A man ran onto the airfield
Oh
and
no.
was sucked into the engine of a jet, causing a flame out on the jet engine, and they aborted the flight. Everybody had to be aborted, and obviously
Oh no.
he
Yeah.
literally was like aborted through the engine. Yeah.
Oh my. Dear Lord.
Yeah, when
Don't do that,
they
folks.
jet intake engines, they stand away is they mean it.
Yeah,
Also,
no
though-
kidding. Holy moly.
Why I mean, there's so much of me wants to know why he decided to climb the fence and run onto the runway.
Maybe he was high or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder, did he intentionally do it? Was he, just thinking,
Right.
I'm just going to, end my life and run in front of a jet engine, which, okay.
Right.
Was he thinking this will be a shortcut to get to the airport because I've got to make my flight?
Right. It's a bad call
yeah.
either way you go.
That was crazy.
Wow. What about
Okay,
you?
on to positive things. So we had a date night this past week. It was kind of an impromptu. Didn't really know what we were gonna do. And my wife was like, we haven't been to the casino in a while. Let's go have a fun like happy hour dinner at the bar at the steakhouse that we'd like to go to. So we're like, okay. So we get over there. We got over there pretty early. It was like 4:30 in the afternoon, and 4 o'clock. The steakhouse doesn't open until 4:30. So we're like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I suppose we could gamble a little bit. And I'm not a slot machine person. I never win at them. I don't like them. The slot machines of today are so confusing compared to the slot machines of yesteryear, right? And so my wife sits down. She starts gambling on a machine, and I sit down behind her to a machine called Chicken Bop. And I was just like, you know what? I am gonna play Chicken Bop because my son has a song that they plays on his tablet, and it's like Chicken Bop, 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 Chicken Bop, and I'm just like, okay, I've got to play this. Well, I end up winning $400.
Hey, there you go.
And so, but I did it was like within like 5 minutes. So I just cash out. I'm like, dinner's paid for. So we went and
Yeah.
had actually a really fun dinner. hung out, had a great time, and then met a nice couple along the way. And so ultimately, it was just a real positive night. At the end of the day, we're walking away winners. I still had a little bit of money left over. I've been watching season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. I like it.
And?
There's part of me, though, at some point, when you have these fictional stories, and I know it's fiction, so that's the hard part, right? It's fictional, so you kind of have the suspension of, beliefs or disbelief, right?
Right.
It is very difficult for me to see, like, New York City being run by a terrorist regime almost, where they're literally rounding up people, openly killing people.
Can't imagine that. It's crazy. Never happened.
Not to that level. You know what I mean? So I get it. I get it. There's overtones to the current political climate, but it's different. So, but I am enjoying it. I am enjoying it. So I kind of put that aside. Overall, it's been great. I'm on I think last episode, or maybe there's one more episode after this. I think it's only 8. So should wrap that up today. That's actually why I'm tired today, because I was up watching it till 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was getting ready to watch another episode, and I was just like, oh dear God, I've got to go to bed, because I'm solo this weekend. My wife is visiting her mom for Mother's Day, and so I know my son is going to wake up at 30 like he does all the time, and he's going to say, hey, it's breakfast time, let's go. So and sure enough, that happened. So yeah. And then last couple things, I have been listening to an audiobook called Artifact, and it is narrated by my favorite, R.C. Bray. It is kind of I'll just loosely say it is a science fiction story. It is dealing with a sheriff in Alaska, and dealing with corporations that have moved into Alaska to do somewhat nefarious things behind closed doors. So it's been good. Very much enjoyed it. I'm on the epilogue now. The epilogues are always wrap up, feel good kind of moments where they attempt to, or they leave you on a cliffhanger if they're going to do a sequel.
Right.
And then last, the pool is open.
Yay!
It has been 90 degrees all weekend, so 88 degrees in the pool. Perfect. My son loves jumping in the pool.
90 degrees here.
We spent all day in the pool yesterday, so in fact, after this, I'll be taking it back in the pool.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, so that's it. That's me. Done. Let's move on, Mr. Matthew. What sound clip do we have now?
Well, we were supposed to have a question from Discord, but there's not one, so...
No, there isn't.
We're on to free games. We're going to talk about free games? No, we're not. Which means it's time to talk about the games that we've been playing.
Today I feel like playing computer games. It's game time.
There we go.
Okay. I think our gaming list is fairly short this week across the board, but I'll go first. I'll bite the bullet.
Okay.
I didn't get, so the one game I really want to play, and I'll talk about it briefly just because it's something that I think I want to bring attention to other people. It's Mixtape. It just came out onto Game Pass. It's getting rave reviews, and all I know is it has like 80s and 90s music in it. I know nothing about the premise of the game. I am itching to play it, and so that will be on my playlist this upcoming weekend. We'll talk about it next week. In the meantime, I have been helping Lewis prepare for his expedition within Arc Raiders. So he is finally going to do his expedition, which means he loses everything. And one of the things that happens in this game when you have people that you play along with and you share things from time to time is you suddenly become what I'm calling the expedition mule, where I've just been saving blueprints. I have over 20 blueprints now for Lewis for when he comes out of the expedition. He will be naked and afraid. He will have nothing to his name. And that's the challenge of the expedition is you literally get stripped of all of your possessions and you start a new character. And the new character, again, starting from ground zero, you have basic weapons, you have no blueprints, you have no ability to do anything other than run the free loadouts. So I have been trying to help him out, but the challenge is each one of those blueprints takes up a stash spot in my stash, and I have quickly run out of room in my stash. And so between Lewis trying to offload the things that were valuable that he wanted to pass along to me and
Right.
keepsake, I have been managing inventory like crazy over the past couple of days. I am happy to say tonight is the night. It's going to happen tonight, Kim. It's going to happen.
Oh boy.
Lewis is going on the expedition to the great unknown. And,
I thought maybe you were losing your virginity. Never mind.
yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
Kim was finally going to buy our creators tonight. I thought that's what we were working up for.
Oh, if only.
Yeah. Someday.
One day. Yeah.
But yeah. And then just one random crazy funny story from Arc Raiders. And it ended well, but it was a confrontation story. So Mark and I are playing, and there is a map, Dam Battlegrounds. They have this control tower. At the very top of the control tower, there is a secret room, or I should say a key card room that has a lot of good loot in it. And so we had the key card, and we were going to venture up to it. Well, we get through a door, and on the other side of this door, there are two zip lines, basically. One that leads down to lower levels, and then one that goes all the way to the top of the control tower. And you take the zip line up, you get to the room. Well, someone was already in the room, and as we open the door and we're standing on this little platform where the zip lines are at, we can hear them, and we both start saying, we're talking, we're like, oh, someone's already up there, and I was like, yeah, I can hear them. And then I heard somebody coming down the zip line. I was like, oh, they're coming down. And so I kind of backed up to the corner, non-threatening or anything. I just was like, because the other thing in this game, Kim, and those that don't know, if you're on a zip line and somebody else tries to go up or down on the zip line, you will knock one another off the zip line. So I knew I didn't want to get on the zip line at that point. So I was letting this person come down. Well, the person drops down, and he drops down like right in front of Mark and just starts shooting him. And this is all like happening right in front of me. And I'm like, holy shit. So of course I start shooting this guy, and he downs Mark, but then I down him. And then his other buddy zip lines down right in front of me, but facing towards Mark and his buddy on the ground. So I start shooting him. He jumps to the other zip line and drops all the way down. And then I looking at Mark and this other guy crawling on the ground. And at first I start to shoot the guy that had shot Mark, but then he crawls over the edge and drops all the way down. So at that point, I just said, screw it. And I just start lobbing blaze grenades down this air shaft, basically. That's what it is. And I think I ended up killing one of them. I don't know for sure, but we escaped. Mark crawled out of the entryway, and I revived him. And at that point, we were just like, let's boogie out of here. And so we bailed out. But it was a positive result out of a potentially disastrous situation. This is what you have to look forward to, Kim.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
I'm telling you, Kim, you're going to love it.
Killed by randoms. Yay!
See, that's the thing. There's a way to game the system to stay in more positive lobbies. Like last night,
Right.
I had a wonderful experience. Met up with these guys, another guy going on expedition. He's like, are you going to be doing the expedition? I was like, no, I'm too far away on my levels. He's like, oh, well then, you know what? Here. And he just starts throwing some loot down on the ground. I got some nice guns out of it. I got a hull cracker out of it. So I was just like, holy crap. Okay, thank you. So, yeah. And I gave olives away. And I gave them to somebody that was looking for olives. And also because I honestly don't like olives. So
It's nice of you.
I
know.
like olives. I think I'm getting a disapproving look from Christopher Matthew.
Nope.
Probably. I like olives, but
No disapproving looks. I'm not a huge fan of olives either. So I am not disapproving.
All right. Well, in that case, let's talk about what you have been playing, Mr. Matthew.
What I have been playing, I pretty much am continuing on my Baldur's Gate 3, trying to get to the end of it. We will see if I ever get there. I've got to Act 3, and the theme of this week is Act 3 ADHD, because once you get into the city itself, there's so many different ways you can do things, and if you do them in the wrong order, you can really screw them up. So I'm petrified to actually move any quests forward at the moment. So just
I know.
Just kind of walking around the city trying to level up. But I'm gonna stick with it. I did try to go fight the there's the wizard in the tower that wants the night song, and I was like, no.
Yes.
And we did a battle.
Rogan.
Yeah, that was a tough battle on tactician mode.
Yes.
I
It's a
had
tough
to
battle when
actually,
you're not. So.
Yeah, I actually had to reload a save there and go try a different tactic. But I'm trying to use different characters, trying to level up different characters in powerful ways. And every time I look up like, hey, what's a good way to use this character? I find out there's some item somewhere that I missed. I'm like, well, I guess we're just going to do the best we can without this very important item. For instance, apparently if you take Will with you when you go to rescue whoever it is that holds Will's contract when she's trapped in the Mind Flayer colony. Minthara?
Yeah, Mizora?
No, not Minthara.
Yeah. Mizora.
Mizora. There it is.
Mizora.
If Will is with you, then he gets like a really cool sword. If he's not, then you don't get it. I'm like, well, great. I could have used that sword. Anyway, yeah. I've been having fun with it.
Yeah.
What else have I been playing this week? Nothing really of note. Nothing really of note. Spent a little bit of time with Tomb Raider. Spent a little bit of time. I went back and played Astroneer for a little bit, but nothing really new to talk about there. Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Job done.
Kim?
Yes.
What outside of playing Emergency Room with your dad?
Oh, I haven't played anything. As a matter of fact, I think I even put that on my notes there somewhere. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to play anything. I thought about it, but yeah, I haven't had the time or the energy this week. So I'll try this week now that the main excitement has worn down. So, because I mean that was my plan Monday afternoon when my sister called. I was gonna hop on the Xbox and play something, but yeah, that got sidetracked. So.
All right. Hey, you know what? Life happens. By the way, I know we briefly touched on the game Emergency earlier. Not Emergency. What was it again? Operation. Well, I keep calling it Emergency. Maybe because I associate operations with emergencies.
Paging Dr. Beats. Emergency. Sorry.
Now, I know we all know the game, but did both of you play the game? Have you actually played the Emergency game?
I have actually played this game.
I'm not good at it.
I don't think we owned one, but I played it at a friend's house or something. I was never any good at it. And the worst part was when you made a mistake and it vibrated, then the pieces would inevitably they would go further in and become harder. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah, I played this game, but not with any great success.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I think across the board, all three of us collectively not set to be surgeons.
No, my fine motor skills are not that fine. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose we could be these days. I mean, robotics does a lot of the work these days, so.
True.
I could get behind a little robotics surgery. But again, the sight of blood. It's weird. I react to like in the moment injuries, I think a little bit better than I do seeing them on screen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense or not, but yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, let's move on.
let's move
Okay.
on. We talked about
Let's do
games.
the important thing.
We talked about
All right,
news.
now everybody get settled. Get away from the windows. Now look, good. It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad. Tough.
I appreciated that
camera.
when you put your hands up in celebration, your camera started following you.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, come on, really?
All right, so I'm gonna need you two to keep an eye on the chat for scores, because I have too many windows open. But up first,
Okay.
Everybody hands off the keyboards.
up first
Boomer,
in this week's
Batch.
in this week's quiz is title "Days Gone" on the PlayStation 4, and it was released in 2019. Now, normally I would give Greg the honor of choosing who goes first because he won last week, but
I would still like that honor.
well, it's too bad, tough, because you got to go last week, and so that means that you have to go first this week. And
That's
those are
totally
the rules.
fine. I was
that
actually going
just
to pick
made up.
myself.
Yeah,
I was going to pick myself.
sure you were.
I was
Sure
going to
you
throw myself for the grenade, Chris. I was going to do it.
were. Sure you were.
Days gone.
Days Gone, PlayStation 4, 2019.
Boomer says 80.
Boomer says 80. Thank you.
Yep.
That's possibly a really solid score number right there. Because I
Right.
remember this game.
I think a lot of games would be happy with a solid score of 80. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I, again, I'm going to do my little diatribe here, but as I recall, this game, it didn't do great sales wise, not at least when it first launched, but it was received fairly well, I want to say. So, 83.
Greg is going to say 83. All right. Kim?
Well, your guys are all right around where I was gonna go, so damn it. 82.
82.
You
All right, we're
little-
being consistent this week. Is Batch isn't coming around to defend his title this week? Going once, going twice. All right. The actual answer, 71. 71.
No!
Yeah.
Jesus.
Not not critically acclaimed, this game. But, since everybody went right there in the low 80s, still anybody's game.
Yeah, fair.
Up
Alrighty.
next in the quiz for this week is Resident Evil 2, which was also released in 2019, but we're going to look for the PC version. Resident Evil 2 on the PC from 2019. And it's Kim's turn.
All right, Resident Evil 2 for the PC. 85.
Coming out quick, 85. All right.
Boomer also 85.
Boomer
so.
also says 85, which gives Greg the
Yep.
final word in round 2.
Yeah, I seem to remember this game was very well received, because this was the remake, and I'm gonna say 90.
Greg's going to say 90. It's a good guess, Greg. 89, the correct answer. So right there. Well done. Well done. So after 2 rounds, still anyone's game. Greg and Boomer tied for the lead, but Kim is only 2 points behind. So still anybody's ball game. Up next is, while I'm typing into my phone, Plague Inc. Plague Inc. was on the iOS and was released in 2012. 2012 on the iOS. Plague Inc. And it is once again Greg's turn to go first.
Plague Inc. Never even heard of this, so yeah.
I think I have.
78.
Greg's gonna go 78. Kim?
83.
Kim says 83, and we'll give Boomer a second. So this was I believe this was the one where you are the plague, and so your object is to spread as far as possible. So you kind of invent your virus, and then you choose what your transmission vector is, and you try to make your plague spread as far as you can. Boomer says 70 so that he mercifully releases me from vamping. The actual answer, 80. So Greg is the closest that round, which brings us into the final round with Greg in the lead, Kim 3 points behind, and Boomer 7 points off the lead. So let's see if anybody can make it up with the final game of regulation. It is A Plague Tale, subtitle Innocence, and that was again from 2019. We almost had a 2019 quiz here, but the one exception.
Almost.
And we're going to look at the Xbox One release. A Plague Tale Innocence, Xbox One.
Okay.
And it is Kim's turn.
I remember this one. This is the one with the rats in it that, no, I'm out.
So many
like
games
the big
with rats
waves
in
of rats.
So many.
Yeah. Yeah, this one had like the big waves of rats in it, and I'm just like, yeah, no. So I'm going to go, but I think it did fairly well. I know there was a few people in the community that played it. I'm going to say 87.
Kim says 87. Boomer says
85.
Boomer's been very consistent with the 85 this week.
It really has.
Well, I guess that's only 2 out of 4, which gives Greg the final word.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 88. This was also, I think, one of those. This came out on Game Pass, as I recall. It launched on Game Pass, and it was well received. Yeah, 88. So I'm sticking
back in time. 88. The actual answer, 81.
Shit.
Which brings us into a very close going into overtime. Greg has the lead. Kim trailing 2 points off the lead, and Boomer 5 points off the lead. So for -5, let's see if you can guess this week's mystery theme. I think the theme is really easy, so I'll make it a 2-parter. If you can give me the theme, I'll give you some bonus points. If you can tell me what's happening that made me pick this theme, I'll give you some more bonus points.
I think I know this one, actually, believe it or not.
First word to Kim.
All right. It's plagues, obviously, and the other would be the hantavirus on the cruise ship.
That's it. It's Craig's. Yeah. It's Craig's. It's plagues. It's pandemics. It's the hantavirus on the cruise ship.
Yep.
So there we go. Greg seems like he was pretty confident, so I think I have to give it to him as well. So we're gonna have to make it 3 weeks in a row, Greg. Three wins in a row. I will take
it.
2 wins in a row. 2 wins in a row.
I do appreciate the easier theme, for the record.
Well, don't.
I mean,
it was a nice twist. It was a nice twist with the what made me go this route. That was good.
Yeah.
Don't get used to the easier theme. I'm not.
Fine.
Creativity will strike again, and I'll come up with something better.
Oh yeah.
And why did sometimes the things that YouTube chooses to preview when I forget to turn it off? You're welcome, everybody. All right. That brings us to the next segment of the show, which is
what is? Assuming it's the news, but after last week's show, I don't know.
It is the news. You know what's fun about that? I don't have a little news jingle, so you're just going to get this one. Nothing? All right, cool.
I got nothing.
Here's the news.
Okay. All All right, in the news, it's a pretty light news week, but we'll tackle a couple fun topics. So Fireteam Elite 2 expands to 4 players and promises deep customization. So if you're unfamiliar with Fireteam, it's because I forgot to put Aliens Fireteam Elite 2. Aliens Fireteam Elite was actually a great game. The community, number of us bought it, enjoyed it for what it was, but it did feel a bit shallow in terms of what you could do and just kind of what that progression loop looked like. It was a 3-player co-op game. It's now going to expand to 4 players, so that's great. I always love the 4-player co-op. And of course, it has new customization options, allowing players to mix and match weapons, abilities, and classes. With Aliens Fireteam Elite 2, we're doubling down on the action and the terror and delivering an experience worthy of the Alien franchise, says Chris Cross, game director of Aliens Fireteam Elite 2. I know, crisscross applesauce. The sequel expands on action to 4 players, introduces new character classes, blah, 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 blah. I'm open to checking this out.
Sure.
But my fear is that maybe the customization route that they're talking about is not going to be as expansive as they are leading us to believe.
Right.
I think the one thing for me that kind of I got bored with Fireteam kind of quickly was it was difficult to play in a single player fashion, and it just didn't feel like there was a whole lot to kind of gear towards. It's one of the things I love about Arc Raiders is that you have all of this loot that you're constantly trying to gather, and there's a reason behind it, and there's payoff to it, and there's thought that goes into what you need to get and where you need to look for it. So I don't think Fireteam is going to have that, unfortunately, but I'm hoping that there will be at least some hooks of exploration and loot gathering. And I am going to sneeze if I just ever have like that tingle just hits you like out of the blue. That just happened. Almost made my eyes water. I'm like, holy smokes. Allergies have been insane, by the way, the past few days. All right. Halo Infinite. I was a big fan. We played a lot of Halo Infinite for quite a while.
Yep.
This might be a reason to go back. I thought they were done with Halo Infinite, but apparently not. A surprise new mode has been added to Halo Infinite, suggesting updates for the game aren't quite finished yet. So the story goes on to say the Firefight Gauntlet is a variation of the existing Firefight mode and puts players in a series of 5 player versus enemy arenas, or PvE arenas, filled with enemies and bosses. The mode appears to have a roguelike element to it, with players able to upgrade their stats and their weapons between rounds. This deviously difficult PvE mode introduces upgradable attributes, elimination objectives, and auto-scale difficulty settings to boss-filled firefight experiences designed to challenge even the toughest Spartans. I love this. Just for the record, I love this kind of stuff where you have this, kind of reminds me of the old Gears of War horde mode, where you were trying to go especially the very first iteration of it, where it's like, how far could you get? And this feels like it has that, but I love this whole, upgradable attributes between rounds. I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of skill point, like earning system that's going to be there. This helps put Halo back potentially on a map with a future iteration of Halo. I don't know. We'll see. It could be absolute shit on top of it. You never know. Speaking of things people didn't want, Xbox has scrapped its Copilot AI companion on consoles, per Asha Sharma. In a message on Twitter, Sharma stated that one of Xbox's main priorities is to address friction it has with players and Xbox developers, and that the scrapping of Copilot on Xbox consoles is part of this move. I And it's interesting. I hadn't really thought about, how good Copilot would be or not be as an AI companion, within
Right.
a console ecosystem. But the more I thought about it, it was kind of two things. One, it sucks for people that create guides, because obviously your AI Copilot and whatever AI you're using, it's just going out and scraping all of the information that other people have put work into and put on the internet. So, one, they're not getting credit for that. But two, if it's a brand new game, the Copilot's going to be useless because there's not going to be any information for it to scrape. So if you're having difficulty getting through level 50, if nobody's written a guide yet for level 50, or if there's very few, very little information about
Right.
that, what's it going to tell you? Other than maybe made up fake crap. I don't know.
Get
So
good.
Right.
I think I'm
good.
okay with this being scrapped.
Yeah.
And something for our PC brethren that yearn for the console experience, the Steam controller was sold out within 30 minutes in some regions as scalpers started listing and then scalpers started listing those very same Steam controllers for up to 3 times the price. So the controller went on sale on Valve's storefront on Monday, this past Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. in the Eastern time zone, and 6 p.m. British Standard Time. But the demand caused sites issues, with numerous players reporting error messages. Within about 30 minutes, the controller started selling out in some regions, and it's currently sold out in every major market, with players reporting out-of-stock messages across the UK, US, Canada, Australia, Japan, and Europe. So, obviously, scalpers got in there. They got their hands on a bunch of these pre-orders. However, Valve has announced that it's implementing a reservations queue for Steam controllers to handle stock shortages and also combat the scalpers. So beginning May 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, they're opening a reservation queue for the Steam controller. Once you reserve, your place in line will be saved. When we go back in stock, order emails will be sent in the same order that reservations were made. Reservations will be limited to 1 Steam controller per user. Once an order email is received, users have 72 hours to make the purchase. Users who are already able to buy a Steam controller won't be able to reserve a second one. In order to reduce scalping, users also must have an account that's in good standing on Steam and must have made a purchase on Steam before April 27th, 2026. That's an interesting one. That little tidbit there.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're new to Steam, sucks to be you. You're not getting a controller, I guess. But I think this is the appropriate response, and I think that they're smartly handling the pre-order issues. Mr.
I
Matthew, are you rushing out to get yourself a Steam controller and make a reservation?
I am not. I don't like the form factor of it. I look at that and it just looks like it would be difficult to use. So
Right.
I'm not in a hurry.
Okay. Kim, what about you? Are you in the same camp?
No.
Difficult to use?
Yeah, well, that and it's kind of like on the Steam Deck. I don't use the touchpads a lot. I mean, I'm basically just for the thumbsticks. So I mean, like the touchpads would do me no good at all. So
Yeah.
it would just be awkward.
I think
So
the
no,
only time
I-
I've ever used the touchpads was when I had to go into the desktop mode and
Right,
move around
right.
the little dumb cursor.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that,
Yeah,
I've
other than
never
that,
used those
no.
touchpads.
And beyond
Right.
that. Sorry. Have you ever seen the movie Small Soldiers from the 90s?
Yes.
The one where they have the toys that come to life. And
I
the
love
kids,
that movie.
The kid's trying to explain to him that it's just like the window to his house, and just everything. He's like, and beyond that? Well, then that's the McDonald's. And anyway, sorry.
It's all right. I like that movie.
Yeah, it was a solid movie.
It was
all right.
actually ridiculous,
Well,
but it was good for a laugh.
So was
Well, we're
taking over
ridiculous,
New York City
so-
with a mafia-style mayor. But
Yeah.
Kim, let's talk about the new
Yes.
release calendar. What is coming out soon-ish.
Alrighty, yeah, coming out this week. Here we go. We've got Battlestar Galactica with Scattered Hopes for the PC on May 11th. Outbound for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, the Switch, and PC, also out on the 11th. Call of the Elder Gods for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, and PC on the 12th. Nitro Gin Omega. Okay. For the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC on the 12th. What? One that I'm kind of eyeballing, and you'll know why in a minute. Feline Forensics and the Meowseum of Mystery, or the I said it right once, now I'm going to say it again. Yeah, right? Meowseum Mystery for the PC, out on May 13th. So I'm going to have to check on the Steam Deck and see if I can get what that one is. Hotel Architect for the PC on the 14th. Subnautica 2 early release on the Xbox Series X and S and PC on the 14th. Tony liked Subnautica, but it bored the ever-loving hell out of me, so I don't think I'll be going after that one. The Caribou Trail, which makes me wonder if it's not like the Oregon Trail, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. It comes out for the PS5 and the PC on May 14th. Whirlite, No Time, No Trip. That's the I can say that. Meowseum was hard for me. Go figure. Anyway, Whirlite, No Time, No Trip for the PC will be out on the 14th as well. Gold Adventure Gold. Yes, that folks, that's a title. But it'll be out for the PC on the 15th. Find out what it means, but then I guess.
In a twist, by the way, the game is all about silver.
Probably, right? Steel Artery for the PC, out on the 15th. Myst for the PS5, PSVR 2 on the 16th. And then last but not least, we have Riven for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PSVR 2, also on the 16th. And those are your new releases. So there you go.
I can't help but think Myst has to be a remake, right?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, yeah, that was from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thought so. Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I kind of predicted it before we got on, but a down and dirty, fast and easy show,
Right.
which is how I like my mother. Wait, no, that came out
What?
really wrong.
Oh, wait. Whoa.
Not my mother, my wife. I don't know. The mother of my child.
Just stop.
Well, that's how it happened.
Just stop.
Okay. All right. Playdates. We
confused.
continue to try and hang out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maybe we'll be playing some Halo. Snoogans, just heads up. Hey. But we do this 8:30 in the UK. That's PM. 3:30 PM Eastern. 12:30 on the West Coast, Best Coast. And if you happen to be in the Central Time Zone, it is 2:30 Kim time. And shout out to Mountain Time Zone, because we never do.
Yeah, well.
Ooh, are they on the same time zone as us right now? I think they are. I think we're lined up again. No, we're not. No, we're never lined up with Mountain Time Zone. It's Arizona.
It's Arizona
that we're lined up with sometimes. Yeah. Mountain Time Zone would be 1:30.
Yes.
And God forbid if we have to go to Hawaii, it's like 5 hours that way or 3 hours behind me. I'm done. That's it. I can't talk anymore. Fridays, 8 p.m. in the UK, 8 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. We repeat and rinse. Come hang out. You can talk with Kim and ask her about her favorite cat game.
Sure.
Sure.
Now, see if Arc Raiders had a cat in it, I might buy it, but
Yeah, it's a chicken.
You know what? It does have a raccoon head. No, it's a fox head. It's a fox head. I thought,
I like foxes though too. Yeah, well.
This is amazing. If you have any ideas for how we can make the show better, you could send us an email at ocpodcast@gmail.com. You could like and subscribe and tell us, leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. You could put it on Twitter. There you have it. And since I'm talking, oh yeah, and Discord. Come to Discord. Ask us questions so that we don't have to play
Future Man.
the sad
Telling you.
no questions noise. We do love to have questions to answer. We love to wax philosophical, as they say. So come to the future. And while I'm talking, I'm going to shout out the Lunch Divers, because we had some great dives this week. The last time I was playing Helldivers, we had a hilarious experience where it was me and I always get the letters wrong. RCGC, RGs, whatever.
Yes.
Sarah from Canada.
Yes, Sarah.
And Iron Panda from Florida. And then we had this one random And he kept calling in this heavy flamethrower and putting in the chat, like, hey, try this flamethrower. And we're like, no, we're good. And then he got on the mic, like, hey, this flamethrower is really great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He wouldn't let it rest. He's like,
Really like the flamethrower.
Did you ever try the flamethrower?
We're only playing on level 5. Like we're good. We're gonna win. He's like, but the flamethrower. I'm like, so finally at the end, I picked up his flamethrower and I set him on fire. So there we go. Those are my shout out. And the two of you, shout out to the two of you. Shout out to Kim's dad. Please don't impale yourself with anything, much less caustic, harmful substances like hydraulic lines.
Yes.
And shout out to Mark. Quit slacking off. Kim, your turn.
Alrighty, I'm gonna shout out Boomer and Batch in the chat. So thanks for stopping by, and Boomer for playing our quiz, and yada yada yada. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to a lot of you guys, because while I was going through the shit with my dad, I'm of course on WhatsApp, filling you guys in, and you guys were all like there, telling me it was gonna be okay and that sort of shit. So I appreciate that, because it was a bit nerve wracking for a little while there. Yeah, shout out to my dad for 75 years old. He's a tough old bastard, and it was hilarious because from the time he was in the ER up here, even through the helicopter ride and being in the ER at Columbia, he talked the entire time. And that's also when I realized my father is not politically correct at all. Although it didn't seem to faze him one bit. So, and apparently it didn't seem to faze the doctors and nurses or anything either. So, I mean, I think my sister and I were mildly embarrassed a time or two, but all took it in stride. So thanks for that. Because, he is really harmless, even though he does come off like a redneck at times, but he is harmless. Anyway, so I'll keep you all informed on how well he goes and all that. And hopefully we all have a better, quieter, sleep-filled week this week, since apparently we're all exhausted. I'm going to shut up now and pass you over to Greg.
Okay. Well, shout out to the two of you. Thank you for taking the time, being on the show. Mm-hmm. Unlike Mark.
I know.
It's all about the dedication, the levels of dedication. And we know where things stand. We get it. We get it.
Yep.
Mark, we do hope you pass your speeding test ticket thing, because we know you want to get back to driving your car.
Right.
Not that he's probably not driving his car.
Right.
Shout out to all the mothers. I'm going to tread lightly here. I'm not going to say anything ridiculous. Just, we love our mothers. So we want to wish them a happy Mother's Day, and I'll keep it plain and simple and get out of here without any other faux pas.
Since I was watching a show about the 90s, you could say, word to your mother.
We could indeed say word to your mother. All right, let's get out of here. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.